What compels someone to dive into the icy Pacific Ocean on the first day of the year? Is it the adrenaline, the challenge, craziness, or is it something deeper? Something that might reflect the spirit and the community of Surf City itself. Welcome back to Huntington Beach Podcast, where we dive into each story, events, and the people that make Surf City the vibrant and unforgettable place we all know and love. I'm your host, Gary Watts, and whether you're a lifelong local or just visiting, this podcast is an inside look to the heart and to the soul of Huntington Beach. For 25 years, the Surf City Splash has drawn locals and visitors alike to Huntington Beach, kicking off each new year with an unforgettable leap into the Pacific. It's more than just a tradition, it's a rite of passage, a celebration of the community, and a reminder that no matter how cold the water is, you're never diving in alone. This year, for the first time, I wasn't just an observer. I was in the water, fully immersed, literally and figuratively, in the community I now call home. I spent the last 20 years driving down to Huntington Beach, calling Dog Beach my local surf, but this dip into the ocean was a little different. No surfboard, just an open ocean, 100 strangers, and the promise of a new beginning. Walking to the pier, I already knew exactly where to go, as there was a farmer's market with vendors selling local art, beef jerky, and other novelties. There was live music that drifted from a small stage where a few musicians played the guitar and the ukulele. This event was hosted by the International Museum, a nonprofit promoting the Surf City culture. What I loved is that it's not just the swimmers who came out, but it seemed like the whole entire city was there. The mayor, the council members, and even the city princess court. Before the countdown, that energy kind of quiets and a local pastor steps forward and gives a blessing to the crowd. I can tell that some people were religious as they bowed their heads in prayer, and others not at all. But the nice thing was to see that the community was united, really ready to take their blessing to step into the new year. I could feel the anticipation building as we walked across the beach, getting so hyped up. People were lining up in front of the ocean, taking photos moments right before we jumped in. And I really couldn't help but think this wasn't just a tradition. It was about stepping into water with everyone else, friends and strangers alike, and knowing that you won't really be the first one in or the last one out either, but that we're all in it together. The mayor steps forward and finally counts us down. As we reach the final moments, everyone bursts through, rushing into the waves before us. The little bit of fear of the cold, excitement, and just pure adrenaline. It's cold, like freezing cold. But after a few seconds, it felt so liberating. The cold was no longer the matter. We were too deep into it, caught in the moment, the rush, the ridiculous joy of charging straight into the Pacific Ocean at the start of the year. The water is wild but beautiful. I dived under it, surfacing to find a stranger smiling next to me, both of us shivering like crazy but grinning like little kids. At that moment, the ocean didn't seem like it belonged to surfers or tourists or anything like that. It felt like it belonged to us. Maybe a better way to put it is that it felt like we belonged to the ocean at that point. But I think the best part of it wasn't the splash itself. It was afterwards, on the sand, where people were wrapped up in blankets, steam rising from cups of coffee and hot cocoa. There was a man next to me that was laughing and shaking the water from his hair. Later, I stood with the mayor as he stood on the shore.
What is it about this event that you love so much?
Look at it, it's community. Look at it, people are happy, they're joining in, we're just getting together. I just wish I wasn't so lazy not to jump in a freezing cold
man.
ocean.
Next time, you have Speedos under there, right?
Better be Speedos,
Okay.
but it still wouldn't happen. I've got enough insulation to probably keep me warm, but I've done it before, just not this year.
All right, thank you.
Here, want me to hold your camera?
No, I'm okay, I'm gonna go in with it.
Again, thank you for joining us on this dive into the bold and vibrant tradition of Surf City Splash in Huntington Beach. I really believe that it's more than just a location. It's a community, a lifestyle, embodiment of resilience and joy. And whether it's taking a leap into the icy Pacific or connecting with neighbors on the sand, these are kind of the moments that remind me of why we call this place home. And if you're inspired by today's episode, I encourage you to make that leap figuratively and literally and join the community in celebrating what makes Huntington Beach a unique place. Remember, it's not about the cold water or the adrenaline or the surf necessarily. It's about the connections we make and the memories we create together. Don't forget to subscribe to the Huntington Beach podcast on your favorite platforms. Leave a review, share this episode with someone who loves Surf City as much as we we do. Let's keep celebrating everything that makes Huntington Beach such an extraordinary place to live, work, and play. Until next time, stay bold, stay adventurous, and always embrace the waves of life. See you in the next episode.